Namaskaram. Today we are starting a story. It's the first part of one of the legendary story you'll ever hear about. So this is about the story of a prince who was the third son of one of the Pallava king in Kanchipuram. So he had three sons, and one of the son was called Bodhidharma. I think you must have heard about him. So we'll reveal things afterwards. So after there was some quarrel about the power in the land in Kanchipuram, the South Indian state, which is now in Tamil Nadu. So he was the youngest prince, and when his father died, the Pallava king died, the brothers quarreled with each other, while Bodhidharma was no longer interested with the game of power. So he met the another master called Prajnatara. So he now absconded the palace and he went to the master Prajnatara, and he wanted to become a Buddhist monk. So what actually happened is the master gave him the task. He said that you have left everything behind, but now you need a hut to start your practice. After you create your hut, Bodhidharma was a prince. He knew how to fight, he knew how to run the government and so on, but he did not have the enough skill to build a hut. So after his master went, there was another attendant who would observe how Bodhidharma was doing. So he had the task to create a hut, the meditation hut for him, for the spiritual practice. So the attendee would bring the food for the Bodhidharma every day, and Bodhidharma would work on the house, how to complete his hut. So he tried with many things. Every day the weather changed. So since he did not have enough experience on how to build a hut, the hut would be, washed away with the rain, blown away by the wind, and it was quite weak. It would not withstand the weather. And one day, he was quite frustrated, and then he threw away and everything, and he sat down frustrated. And by saying this, the attendee thought that, okay, maybe he's not fit enough to become a disciple. So after a while, when the attendee went to fetch a food, at the time Bodhidharma started up and then building up very strong house. Now what actually happened is, when the attendee returned, Bodhidharma has already built the house. So he rushed to the master and asked him to come back to see the hut that Bodhidharma has completed. But the interesting part is, by the time Prajnatara reached the location, Bodhidharma was destroying the house. And by confusion and in astonishment, they asked Bodhidharma, what you did? You took so long time just to build it, and now you are destroying it. And Bodhidharma fell down in the ground, kneeling towards his guru, and then said, the hut has not only been built, but it has been found. So what he was referring to was, the hut was supposed to be in his mind. It was the mind that was supposed to be the starting point for his practice, not the physical house outside. So we'll be moving on to the next journey after this. Namaskar.